good evening, John. Good evening, Ollie.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ben. Good evening, John.
How are you both this
Ollie.
evening?
I'm good.
Very well. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers indeed.
Disappointed the mission was cancelled again.
Yeah, we were supposed to go live on our other channel, Chasing Descent, to watch the Artemis 1 rocket's second attempt. But this time we didn't even get the show live. The first attempt we did get the show live. But this time, no, afraid not. Anyway, with that out of the way, welcome to the 7th episode of Dismal Disney. Now, it's not always dismal news around here, but it's 3 grown men, 2 who know what they're talking about within the Walt Disney Company, and 1 layman, hi John, talking about news, events, and the products and services from the Walt Disney Company, and demanding more, demanding better, and demanding more for our money. So, Ollie, how are you?
Very well. Yeah, it's been a good week. We only did this last one on Monday, didn't we? So it's been a few days since the last one.
It has.
But lots of news has happened. They always seemed. Sometimes I think, what are we going to talk about this week? But then they always come up with some gems.
Of course they do. It's the Walt Disney Company, and they are trying to take all of your money. They're trying to take everybody's money.
And the first point one today, when they're taking our money, is from the Wall Street Journal, surprisingly.
What have they got for us today, Ollie?
They've reported that Disney are contemplating starting their own Amazon Prime type subscription service, Ben.
I thought Disney already did a Disney subscription.
No, they've got a streaming service.
Yeah.
But they want you to pay more. So obviously Amazon Prime, Amazon Prime, you pay, what is it, 80 quid a year, and you get free shipping on everything.
Yeah.
And also you get that streaming service included.
Yeah.
Disney have a fan club, but it's obviously it's mostly for the hardcore. It's not really mainstream. But they want to roll this out to like a mainstream audience where you probably pay 100, 150 quid a year, and you get maybe discounts on merch, park tickets. But whether they roll the streaming service into this will be, obviously they're still talking about it, but it would make sense for them to roll the streaming service into the price of their subscription. But I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do that.
Well, that's what Amazon does, isn't it? So you pay for Amazon Prime delivery, and then you get their streaming service just included. So that's how I'm watching The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Me and John filmed the watch party of episode 1 that's going to come out on this channel at some point, Ollie. We did it so you don't have to.
Yeah, not my thing.
Yeah, I don't blame you, mate.
No, and you know what, John knows this, but others don't. I actually watched episode 2.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, I'm a bit of a Lord of the Rings fan, and
me too.
Even I was contemplating the meaning of life.
Yeah, we were definitely contemplating our own existence.
Well, it does seem like they've kind of like along with the Game of Thrones new thing as well. It seems like they just churn them out just because they can, because just purely just to keep the brand in the marketplace.
You say that, but the Lord of the Rings has been churned out for the tune of $750 million.
Yes, yeah. The most expensive TV show ever made.
So they're not just doing it because they can. Surely. I mean, that is one hell of a tax write-off if it bombs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I see why they want to do this, because there's a bigger level to this, right? Because not only are they going to be able to hook people in with the promise of discounts, but they are also going to be able to start understanding what you watch, what Disney products you like, what parks you want to go to, and things like that. And then they can start doing tailored offers, just like a Tesco Club card, for example. Every month through your Tesco Club card, you get tailored offers, because that thing is actually just a data gathering tool. So it knows what you want money off of. Like, we buy a lot of cat food, so we get a lot of cat food vouchers.
It doesn't know what you want money off of. It knows what to offer you make you buy things.
Well, this is it.
That you wouldn't ordinarily buy, maybe.
Yeah.
This is exactly why Disney want to do this. They want to do this because they can extract as many dollars and cents out of every one of their customers as possible at a time when nobody has any bloody money. So
because remember, anything that you get for free isn't in your best interest.
It's also a whole new revenue stream where, when subscribers to Disney Plus might be plateauing slightly. Obviously they're reaching saturation. So he's just like Chapek's just looking for a whole new revenue stream, isn't he?
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah, of course he is. And this is what Bob Chapek was brought in as CEO for. He's a money man. He's gonna cut everything to the bone. He's gonna do everything to extract every single cent out of the customer as possible. And like I said, it's a bit crappy. I'm trying not to swear here. It's a bit crappy at a time when everybody's entering in the Western world an artificial cost of living crisis that could have wholly been avoided if people like Disney hadn't agreed to close their gates. But enough about that. And
I understand what you're saying, but Disney have got a rather peculiar. Well, it's not even a problem. They've got a rather peculiar situation here because they're driving their prices up to slow people down coming to their parks.
Yeah. Because
there's too many people going.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's completely right. 100%.
Yeah. So they're in a fantastic, as a company, they're in a fantastic position.
Mm.
Now the question is, will they go too far and reverse it and then have to cut prices to bring people back? That's the one I would like to be. I'd like to see that happen. But as it stands at the moment, you can't fault Chapek for doing what he's doing because from a business perspective, it sounds incredibly sensible.
It does. Yeah, it does.
And I can speak from experience when I say that the consumer will basically save every last penny they can for their Disney holiday, or they will borrow money for their Disney holiday.
Yeah.
I know of what I speak. Literally,
because you've done it. I mean, we've all been to Disney and we've all done it. We've all spent too much.
Yeah.
To go to Disney.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking the kids there in October, and I'm dreading how we're going to have the spending money. It's absolutely.
Because I mean, when you go on your own, you can deny yourself certain pleasures. Like you can have one coffee, you don't need to eat in the park, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when you've got your family there and your kids, you want them to have, the all-encompassing experience. So you don't want to have to go with sandwiches and stuff.
No. But
I'm looking at the exchange rates this week, obviously going in 2 weeks' time, and it's 1.15 the dollar and the euro.
Yeah, they're at parity.
Yeah, they're almost at parity, and so you're looking at basically paying. I mean, the easiest thing that I remember the price of in Disneyland Paris is a pint, which is about €8. So you're looking at £7.50 for a pint which is I mean, London prices. It's not ridiculous, but
I mean, it is ridiculous.
Well,
I mean, it is ridiculous. But just a cocktail maybe would be 12, 13, 14, 15 euros. So that's now 12, 13, 14, 15 pounds.
But to put that in perspective, Ollie, when Ben and I were there, it was like €1.09.
Yeah, it was. It was.
What, 1.09 or 1.9?
Yeah, 1.09.
1.09, right?
Yeah.
So, we were spending more.
We were.
And France, as a country, is not a cheap country.
No.
Having lived there for a year and a half or longer, it is pretty expensive unless you're buying just wine, bread, and Christmas trees.
Which sounds like a good life. That sounds like a good life, just buying wine.
Yeah, well, yeah. You tend to buy more wine to fill yourself up, so you don't need to eat as much.
Yeah. They're saying that the dollar is the pound is going to go below the dollar at some point in the near future, because obviously we're heading into recession, and so
America's not
heading into recession. Ollie, we're heading into depression. We've been in recession for quite some time.
Yeah,
and America's not.
But we're not. Yeah, but we're in Europe, and we have a slightly different set of circumstances. So I think we'll be in slightly more financial difficulty than the States will.
And
well, to be honest though, there's no reason for it.
Well, they still have manufacturing for a start. They still make stuff in America, whereas we don't make anything. So they still got. We rely on tourism. We rely on like white collar call centers. So like, whereas the Yanks still make stuff. And so
we are pretty much a service economy. He is.
Yeah, well, we have been a service economy for tens of years now. But to be fair, America doesn't make that much.
Well, they make more than we do. They've got shitloads of farmland as well, whereas we don't have much anymore.
Well,
you mean Bill Gates had shitloads?
They did have.
Yeah, apart from the land that Bill Gates is buying up. Apart from that, yeah.
So before we move on to our next story, you might notice that this show never usually goes out on our Twitch channel, and I can see there's a few of you watching over there. You can click the link in the description, well, in the chat right now, youtube.com/Liberté Media, to come and sign up to our second YouTube channel, which is where, over on that platform, this show is currently broadcasting. Ollie is our host with the most for these Dismal Disney shows, and this is the first time he has officially been out on the Twitch channel. So, Ollie, say hello to Twitch.
Hi, Twitch. How is Twitch? Are they good? Are they nice people?
Yeah, there's a few of them.
Yeah, well, they're all right.
Yeah, they're all right. Some of them are all right. There's some of our regular Chasing Descent viewers, you know.
Some are better than others.
Some are better than others, yeah.
And they're going to troll me for my Disney room?
No.
No.
You won't get any hassle off them.
No, you won't get any hassle off them. You just, and if you do get any hassle off them, John will just give them hassle back.
I'll sort them out.
He will.
Okay, thanks.
He will. So shall we move on to our next story then, Ollie?
Okay, well, yes, let's go. Well, talking about France and Europe and what's happening with everything, Eurostar have cancelled their they are cancelled next June, I believe. The last direct train from the UK to Disneyland Paris is being cancelled by Eurostar because they suck, and that is from Sky News.
Yeah, why would they do that, Ollie? Why? Why? I ask you, why?
Honestly, I mean, there's like I've been to Paris 11 times. I've only used the Eurostar twice.
Yeah.
Both times we changed in Lille, and that was relatively easy. And so I can understand. I mean, it makes almost from an advertising point of view, it's worse than the actual logistics, because logistically it doesn't make much difference. But like from an advertising point of view, it makes it sound like you cannot get to Disneyland Paris with Eurostar. So I feel like it's a PR nightmare. But I understand. I mean, obviously financial reasons. That's going to be the main reason, isn't it? But
well financially, it's actually going to backfire on them because. That service to Disneyland Paris, that direct service to Disneyland Paris is often, I can never get a wheelchair space on it, right?
It's crammed.
It's always crammed. It is always crammed. And it's got to be there.
Right. So just to keep, and having never used the train, apart from once on Le Shuttle on the bike, and I've never used the train to France. I've never used Eurostar. So I assume now, after they've done this last train from London, you would have to then get the Eurostar to Paris.
Lille Europe or Paris Gare du Nord.
And then change train onto a regular French train that would take you to...
Get the metro.
Would that still take you to Chessy? Yeah.
Yes, so you can get a TGV from Gare du Nord or from Lille Europe. Or
Gare du Nord.
Or you can get the underground metro system from Gare du Nord.
I did that once. I have a story where...
Gare du Nord.
That's
Gare du Nord.
Gare du Nord.
Nice.
I once got the train accidentally from CDG. I missed it. I got the wrong train from CDG, hopefully going straight from CDG to Marne-la-Vallée, but I actually got it to the centre of Paris and had to go back out again.
Did you not wonder why your TGV that was supposed to take 4.5 minutes was taking slightly longer?
Yeah, it took about an hour into Paris and an hour back out again.
4.5 minutes, is that all it takes to get from Paris to Disney?
No, to get from Charles de Gaulle Airport to Disneyland Paris on the TGV.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very quick. But we've got to remember that people are using this service religiously. Ashford International and the other Ebbsfleet station are having no Eurostar services whatsoever, not just to Disneyland Paris, for like 2 years now. They still have not restarted. The Ashford International station, the entire elevator shaft had a mock-up facade, a massive one of the Disneyland Paris castle on it, right?
Wow.
And the elevator doors are the castle gates. So you walk into it and go up. It's the Disney lift because you're going to get the direct Disney service. And this is financially, I don't see how this is a good move for them, because there's going to be all these people. They're not going to want to do the service where you can change trains at Lille, and sometimes you have to wait like over an hour for your connection. Same thing could be happening in Paris, when they can either do what I'm doing in October and 35 minutes across on the Eurotunnel in your car, and then a further 2 and a bit hours and you're there. You can stop whenever you want. You can take your own snacks and drinks. You can have your own music at your own leisure if you want. Or flying from, say, Gatwick takes about 35 minutes to Paris Charles de Gaulle, and then once you've landed, you've got like a 5-minute TGV from Charles de Gaulle to Disney, or the Disney Magical Express bus, whatever they call it now.
Which is kind.
But those things are available, and I would say at this point now more convenient. So I don't think that the passengers that would have got the direct service for its convenience are going to continue to get the Eurostar when there are other methods available. And sometimes, often, I mean, I've got return flights from Gatwick to Charles de Gaulle for like 36 quid before.
Yeah.
You can.
There's a lot of people like you, Ben, who live in the southeast who go to Disneyland very regularly purely because of that service.
Yeah, it's true.
And they're not going to be there, so they're
true.
They're going to go less. Thank you, John. They're going to go less regularly. They're going to spend less money. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they'll go less regularly. I just think that they'll take alternative methods, and Eurostar won't get that money. I mean, Eurotunnel.
They'll go to Gatwick.
They'll either go to Gatwick, or they'll just realise how convenient and easy it is to drive from the southeast. Yeah. It's so easy. I mean, if they've got a car or a driver's license or anything, such an easy journey to make. And I mean, John drove from the south of France up to Disneyland Paris in a bloody RV, didn't you, John? Still, French roads are lovely. They are lovely.
Gen Z don't have cars, do they? Gen Z live at home and don't have cars.
Well, they're trying to get Teslas and realising that they're not going to be able to charge them.
I saw something today. It was a JCB mini digger,
right?
An electric one.
Oh.
And the guy said, we tried this out. He says, 2 hours. It had a full charge, and we used it for 2 hours. And it was fine. It was as much power as the old-fashioned style mini digger. Everything worked fine for 2 hours. Then it ran out of charge.
Yeah,
that's it.
Then it's now sitting on the trailer, right? It's being charged. It takes 8 hours to charge, right?
2 hours to use up.
And it's charging off a massive, big, beep beep diesel generator.
Of course it is. So what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point?
And it's got 0 emissions written across the back, but it needs 8 hours on a diesel generator to produce those 0 emissions.
Exactly. It's so counterproductive. And all these, millennials, Gen Zs. I mean, I'm technically a millennial, I guess. But what they don't understand is, it's so green plugging into the electricity. Well, where does that electricity come from, John?
It comes from coal.
just let me know that one more time, John.
Coal or gas, or on very rare occasions nuclear.
Yeah.
Or even rarer and very infrequent occasions solar or wind.
Exactly. Renewables are absolutely useless, quite frankly.
Yeah. Renewables are accounting for about 5 to 6% of our energy needs.
Yeah, so it's not really all that green when the electricity itself has come from a massive burn of coal or gas, is it?
Yeah, or nuclear.
Shall we move on to our next story, Ollie?
Certainly, let's do that. We are sticking with the cost of living crisis / war in Europe because Disneyland Paris this week has turned off the gas lamps in the arcades either side of Main Street to save energy.
To save gas?
Save gas, exactly, yeah.
Have they also turned off the massive flamethrowers during illuminations?
I would guess not.
So,
I wonder if they've turned off the gas on the Wicker Man.
Oh, well, Alton Towers? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably
not.
It
wouldn't be the same without the gas, would it?
It wouldn't be the same without the gas.
Like, the amount of gas that the arcades use is probably minimal, and so this is virtue signaling at its best.
Well, virtue signaling at its best is what massive corporations do, and also it's just a big part of wagging the old dog, isn't it, John?
Yeah, and it'll give them a little tick in their ESG score.
Their little tick in their ESG score. We done good. Russian man bad. We turn on
Russian man bad.
Yeah.
Putin!
It's all Putin's fault. Everything is Putin's fault. Just ignore, just French people, British people, Western world. Just ignore the fact that your government's closed your economies for the last 2.5 years, caused it to collapse, and caused massive inflation, and artificially caused this entire cost of living crisis from those actions alone. Just ignore that. Ignore that. That didn't happen.
It was Putin.
John, it's all.
Oh, Putin.
Who is it?
Putin!
It's all him. Russian man bad. Russian man bad.
2 weeks' time, I'm going to be walking down the arcades and I'm going to scream Putin at the top of my voice.
Do it.
Film
do it. And film it.
I will.
Selfie.
Put it on.
I will film myself.
We will put it on. We will put it on here as a short. But we'll put it on here as a short.
Send it to us and we'll put it up as a short.
Yeah, we will.
Damn you, Putin!
Damn you, Putin! Take my gas now. How dare he? I hope he realizes the pain he's going to cause me.
And I will bet people will agree with you.
Yeah.
They won't understand.
They will.
It's got nothing to do with Putin.
Of course. Anyway. I mean, let's once again, and we have to say this on Chasing Dissent, and we say this over on our channel as well. We're not saying Putin's a good guy. We're saying that he's a convenient scapegoat.
Well, we don't have to say it. I mean, let's face it. Our stance on world government is well known.
Yeah.
We don't approve.
We don't approve.
We don't approve of any form of government.
We don't approve.
Because they are all out to get you. And none of them are looking out for you. So we just don't approve.
We don't approve. We don't approve. And I think, Ollie, would you agree with that stance?
Very much so. I'm thinking like whether, you know, I know that like there's a connection between the French government and Disneyland Paris.
Of course.
I wonder whether this has been, you know, this is a Macron influence type situation.
Of course it is.
Yeah, and also obviously,
come for lunch. Who's the right guy that runs?
Her name is Natasha Rafalski.
Come for lunch, Natasha. We will discuss it. Well, not in a Russian accent, obviously, more of a French. But... Come
for lunch, Natasha.
That's you doing Russian again. You got Russian.
We're stuck on the. We got Russia on the plane, John.
Putin.
But
that's that's Putin's fault as well.
Did you hear what Liz Truss said about Macron? I think it was last week or
yes. We were streaming that live and we started clapping, didn't we?
And you know what? On that occasion, I couldn't disagree with her.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's going to be interesting next week when Miss Truss becomes Mrs. Truss. I don't know.
Mrs. Truss becomes the Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland.
I'm more worried about the fact she's going to join Joe Biden in arming Taiwan, but that's a conversation.
It doesn't matter now because really it doesn't matter because Joe's already done it.
It's a conversation for the other channel, John. This is not why people come here.
Right. Anyway, back to Ollie.
Hopefully, my point is, Mrs. Truss can have a word in Emmanuel's ear and say, "Please, can you turn the lamps back on at Disneyland Paris?"
Yeah. Oi, Emmanuel, you bastard.
Emmanuel.
You bastard, right?
We know language.
We know you don't like us, but our tourists are coming over to your Disney and they're getting cold in your arcades, right?
Yeah, we make up 15%. We make up 15% of the guests at Disneyland Paris. We deserve our gas lamps.
Stick the lamps on, or we're gonna invade Calais.
Is that all? Only 15%?
Yeah, I think the French is like 50. We're the 15. Then it's like Spain, Germany, like 10 each, something like that.
When I was last over there in
we're
April,
second. Sorry.
We're second, yeah.
Right.
So when I was last over there in April, there were so many Italians. I mean, there were so many Italians. It was nuts. I've never seen so many Italians. I wanted to get stereotype. I wanted to wear a Mario costume, start fixing some pipes.
They would have kicked you out for overt racism.
You say that, but I went to a petrol station in Italy and
this is true.
I nearly died
right,
because I went in to pay for my petrol, and standing behind the counter working the cash register was a chap in blue dungarees.
Wow, fuck off.
Whoa. Blue dungarees, wearing a red T-shirt, and he had his name on his T-shirt, and his name was Mario.
So he was doing that on purpose. He was.
No. That was the gas station uniform.
Oh, you're kidding? Really? Okay.
No, that was the gas station uniform. His name was Mario, and he had a rather fine moustache. I could barely stand in the queue for laughing.
You know he was playing up to that, though, obviously.
Oh, yeah, obviously, but even so.
For me, a Mario, give me €4.50.
It was just incredible.
Right, shall we move on to our next story, then?
Let's move on to a fantastic story. Which pleases me greatly. John, you have been to Florida and I haven't, so you might know this already. But until about 10 years ago, no alcohol was served in the Magic Kingdom in Florida whatsoever.
Well, no, not quite.
Well, let me carry on.
Right.
So recently, I think it was about 10 years ago, they started serving beer and wine in restaurants.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And then on September the 13th, which is 10 days away, they will be starting to serve pre-mixed cocktails in the Magic Kingdom for the first time. So there'll be no liquor bottles behind the bar, but there will be cocktails available to restaurants.
No, I think actually I was off on a tangent there. I was thinking about Epcot. Epcot's always had alcohol because it has pubs and things.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, Magic Kingdom. I think you were right because I was first in the Magic Kingdom in 1998. No, 1988. Right?
Wow, nice.
1988, I was first in the Magic Kingdom, and
do you have pictures from them?
Yeah, well, maybe. But
you should look those out because they would be sick.
You couldn't get a drink in the Magic Kingdom.
No.
But you could in Epcot, and SeaWorld was even better.
yeah,
because you got free drink.
Oh, you did.
Because it wasn't Disney.
You did.
Well, SeaWorld was owned by Budweiser.
It was owned by Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah.
And you, if you knew where to go,
you could get free beer.
I've done my research. You went round the back of some show thing, and there was a beer tent, and you could have 6 drinks for nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, there was free beer
nice.
Even I remember free beer at SeaWorld. Yeah.
Awesome.
Anheuser-Busch. But has there been some kind of, you know the type I'm talking about, going, oh no, you can't serve alcohol at the Magic Kingdom? Has that happened yet on Twitter?
I think that happened about 10 years ago when they first started serving beer and wine.
Right.
And I think, obviously, like a lot of the Americans, because obviously this was the same in Disneyland for a long time as well. I think Disneyland, I'm not sure what the status is at Disneyland right now, but it might just be beer and wine as well. But people coming to Paris people coming to Paris from America are always surprised that you can buy a beer in, Casey's Corner and walk with it onto Main Street. Or now, obviously, you can buy the champagne on Main Street as well. So that's a bit of a novelty for the Yanks because they haven't been able to do that before.
Yeah, but you've always been able to buy a series of drinks at Disneyland Paris.
Oh yeah, I mean, but you can buy a series of drinks anywhere in France.
But in Disneyland Paris, it's prohibitively expensive to get drunk in Disneyland Park. You can get drunk in the sports bar quite easily, but in Disneyland Park, it's like, but I think it's like 30 CLs for like €5. So yeah, you can't get drunk on it.
It's very, very expensive, and I imagine that's exactly what's going to happen with these cocktails in the Magic Kingdom, right? They're going to price you out. They're going to price you out of the ability to get pissed, unless of course you're a movie star or someone with millions of dollars. You're going to be. This is going to be a special drink. They're probably going to do them with novelty glasses because you know what they're like. And you're not going to be able to get pissed at the Magic Kingdom. I mean, some people will be able to, and obviously there are people that sneak their vodka in their water bottle. But
hello, that is me. I sneak rum in. Well, no, I sneak rum in. I mean, ever since I've been going to Disneyland Paris without children. The first time I went without children was 2012, and so since then I have. I buy a bottle of rum in the duty free. I buy bottles of Coke, and then I just drink half the Coke, fill the rest up with rum, and then just take it through in a Coke bottle.
Can confirm I've been with him when he's done this.
And does it make something like It's a Small World more tolerable?
Well, if you like Small World, it makes it even better than it is already.
I don't like Small World.
I just like to be able to drink rum whilst I'm on Pirates of the Caribbean. That's like literally
It's a pirate's life for me.
Wrong song. That's like the pinnacle of my existence. The pinnacle of my existence is to drink rum on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
Right. Thank you, Ben. Speaking of drinking, I'm just going to nip down and grab some vino. So carry on. I'll be back in 2 ticks.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Well, I, for one, personally am absolutely in no way upset that they are serving hard liquor at the Magic Kingdom, because, like I said, they're going to price you out of the ability to get pissed, Ollie. And
it's weird, though, isn't it? It's weird because, like, obviously the Puritan angle who would be disapproving of this in America tend to be, on the, what color is that? I've forgotten. It's red over there, isn't it? On the red side of the country, which is the Republican side. But then also that's where you find your, let's say, heavy drinkers also. I mean,
that's a bit stereotypical.
It's very stereotypical, but yes, like, maybe like, I don't know, like the people that brawl in the parks, those kinds of people.
Well, I was actually going to say to you, despite the fact that we are politically homeless, I think when it comes to matters of the last 2.5 years, for example, we've probably got more in common with the Republicans than we do the Democrats.
Unfortunately, yes. So I still think I still place myself in the centre ground.
Oh, me too.
But yes, unfortunately, recently that has been the case.
Yeah, Governor Ron for president. What did he say?
What? I didn't say anything. No, I didn't say anything.
Did not say anything.
I will attempt to get drunk in the Magic Kingdom, and I'll let you know how that goes.
Well, you've got a YouTube channel. You should be filming this shit so that I can edit it and put it out.
I will.
Good. Good. Oh, look, he's back. Hold on, he's back. He's back. A little bit of an interval. Once again, if you are watching over on the Twitch channel and you are finding this in any way entertaining, then please click the link in the chat and head over to the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Liberté Media. Become a subscriber over there, because we don't do this show, only this show, but there's other stuff. There's pop culture stuff, there's real life stuff, there's us going out and doing things, and that all lands on the other channel, on Liberté Media, because we don't think it fits with the political / news slant of Chasing Descent. So this is what we do over there. Ollie joins us over here, and at some point we're going to have you on Chasing Descent After Dark, I think, Ollie.
I mean, I think it's definitely a possibility. I mean, my brain has been fried by the last couple of years, and so I try and, like more recently, I've been trying to think about politics less and less. So if I don't join you, don't be offended, but it might happen.
Don't worry, it's not really about politics After Dark.
Yeah, it's a bloody good laugh.
It is a bloody good laugh. It is an anything goes bloody good laugh, where we just have a chat for an hour or two, anything and everything really. It's really good, and people can just get to know who you are. That's what it's all about. It's not really about politics. We have people on, for the serious interviews every now and again, but we do like to have a bloody good laugh even with them if we can. Yeah. No, it's not what you think. It's not really that politically led. So
okay, that's fine. My brain is only holds so much. Most of it is Disney related.
Yeah, no, we can talk about that if you want. Just do it over that show.
We can talk about Disney. We can do stuff like that. Anyway, what's next?
I won't want to bore you.
What's next?
What is next? Okay, so we're going back to Mr. Chapek now. Chapek. Cheapsteak, yeah, whoever. From Disneyland News Today, subsidiary of WDWNT. Mr. Chapek has seen in divine wisdom that he will no longer cultivate real grass at Walt's original Magic Kingdom. He would like to replace the grass with artificial grass, primarily at the Haunted Mansion lawn, but most disturbingly at the Mickey floral at the entrance of the park. The venerated and famous icon is going to be artificial and soulless. Yeah, exactly. That sums it up very well, John. That noise pretty much encapsulates my feelings.
I'm fine with it.
No, I'm not. I think. I mean, it goes. How does that fit in with a green agenda? And I no pun intended. But how does it fit in? You have a natural product that's self-sustaining, basically.
Yeah.
And yet you wanted, and grass in Florida grows like Billy O because
we're talking about Anaheim. This actual instance is Anaheim at the moment.
Okay. Even
but
so,
I wouldn't be surprised if they roll it out to Magic Kingdom in Florida as well. Well, the whole of the resort.
Why would you want to?
Well, I quite understand. I do understand why they're doing it. As a man that's got an entire back garden covered in the stuff, it's just so much easier. It really is.
Also, they have John. They have teams and teams, and they probably have hundreds and hundreds of gardeners.
That's why they're doing it, to fire a bunch of those.
Exactly.
So all those poor illegal Mexicans are going to have to go back to Mexico.
Exactly. Yeah. That's literally it. It's
another cost cutting measure, and the lifetime on an artificial lawn is so much better because, like John says, yes, it's self-sustaining, but it does have to be kept up. It has to be cut. It has to be kept looking nice. Whereas my artificial grass in my garden, we laid it down. It keeps its colour. It doesn't grow. It stays looking exactly as we laid it, and it
gives you great friction bonds.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't really use my garden, John.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
You don't.
But this is well for you, Ben. This is the icon of the park, the entrance, the standard setting. Like the whole point of Disney is that it's plus. It's vibrant, it's exciting, it's real, it's tangible.
It's meant to be a magical experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's gonna be because it's never gonna change.
No, but magical experiences aren't made artificially.
It's the little details that bring the magic to life.
Yeah.
No, see, I completely understand and get your argument, but once again, we're just talking about the fact that Chapek is the money man. We're going right back to what we always talk about. It's cheap. Well, it's not cheap. They will get the most expensive, the most natural-looking stuff. But ultimately, it's not about how it looks. That's not why they're doing it. They're doing it to fire a bunch of the gardeners. They're doing it as a cost-cutting measure, because then all you have to do is every now and again replace the turf if it starts looking a bit tired. And by every now and again, they'll get stuff that lasts for years. And so I understand it. But at the same time, you are both absolutely right. And the reason I say I'm fine with it is because it's a personal bias because of what I have in my garden. I understand it. Loads of people don't even know when they come round. It's not real grass. It's good looking stuff. We've got new stuff, John, since you've been here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But
okay, I believe you.
We don't have the carpet anymore, John. The carpet's gone.
Okay.
Right, but I love the carpet, to be honest. It's just so, but it's so much more convenient.
So tell me this, right? What do you do? And I'm not really talking to you, Ben, but what do you do when real grass starts growing in your artificial grass?
That's a really good point.
Because that always happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't grow through it. What happens is
grows around
dirt and dust and dirt and dust and stuff will land on the artificial grass, and unless you hoover it right every day, real grass will eventually start growing in your artificial grass.
See, what we do is we simply get the jet wash on it.
Yeah, okay.
And it works.
So basically, they'll sack a bunch of trained gardeners and they'll just get like maintenance men to hoover it.
Yeah, that is exactly what's going to happen.
So your task, should you choose to accept it, is every time you go to a park that has artificial grass, is have a pocket full of watercress seed.
Yeah. I'm doing that. I'm definitely doing that.
Right, off to Walmart when you land, Ollie. Off to Walmart.
Yeah. Watercress.
Watercress.
Watercress seeds.
I would say go to Kmart. It's closer, but no, that's gone. Don't do that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, Kmart not gone bust?
Yeah, Kmart went bust ages ago.
Last one. Yeah. Yeah.
Last time I was in Florida, I was able to go in a big K, so that's how long it's been. Oof.
Okay.
Man, I miss that country. I really do. But
yeah, I haven't been for a long time. I haven't been for like 14 years was the last time I went.
So you're pumped.
I'm going to be like, the thing is, I want to spend more time. Like, I want to go to a supermarket and just buy like a ton of Halloween food. I want to go to like antiques malls and just buy like lots of retro merch that no one wants anymore. I want to go to IHOP.
Go to a flea market then.
Yeah,
exactly. There's like around Disney World, there's just like a ton of outlet stores, and flea markets, and like So like, I'm just going to go to like, I've only got like 8 days, but yeah, it's going to be packed.
Yeah.
Right, shall we move on to? We do have at least one other story, don't we?
We've got two more. We've got two more points to talk about. The first one, I mean, your favourite is coming last. I'll save that to the end. But before we get to that
I know what this is.
And we haven't filmed that yet as well. The individual video. We need to do that.
Oh God. Can we not cover it here?
Yes.
Right. Anyway, carry on.
Before we get to that delight, let's talk about another revenue stream that Mr. Chapek has opened for himself. Following in the footsteps of Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, he would like to launch, well, he is launching next year, being announced at D23 in 2 weeks' time, or is it? No, it's next weekend. Disney are launching their own trading card game. Yeah, I know. It's called Lorcana, and it's going to be based around. You're going to be. What's the word they've used? They've not Imagineer, but they've used a word. They've made a word up to describe the player of the game, and they basically have in their control all of the different characters and stories and plot lines and like MacGuffins from all the films, and you can basically use them to play against each other. So yeah.
So here we go. The basic idea is there's this place called the Great Illuminary, said brand manager Ryan Miller, a veteran of Wizards of the Coast. So they brand manager.
Oh, brand manager, right.
So they have actually got people in from Wizards of the Coast, because that's Wizards of the Coast are the trading card game people, right? I believe they're even responsible for Pokemon at one point. I'm not sure if they are anymore.
Okay.
But they're definitely the Magic the Gathering people. So anyway, a veteran of Wizards of the Coast who also helped design the gameplay of Disney Lorcana. It is a treasury of all the Disney songs and stories ever made, all the characters, and it's where they're kind of recorded. John, is it raining?
Yes, and the noise gate has opened.
It has.
Wow.
So he has had to mute his microphone there. All the characters, and it's where they're kind of recorded. The players take on this role of an Illumineer, this powerful sorcerer
thank you, yeah.
that has the ability to bring these characters to life off the page. Players will be bringing a band of their favourite Disney characters together to adventure in this world. The collectible game will include a modern storybook art style, said North America head of games Cassidy Werner. Shane Hartley, Global Games creative director, said that it was inspired by the storybook openings of classic Disney films, features visible line work and vibrant colour washes, and mixes both traditional hand-drawn quality seen in fairy tale storybooks with new digital techniques. So they're going to have a digital form of gameplay as well, so you'll be able to get a digital version of each of these cards, I imagine.
And I'm going to spend thousands of pounds on it.
It's going to crash and burn.
You think?
I do. I think it'll take off. They'll have a big, fad of it for a while. People will get bored of it very quickly, and it'll become a niche, just like Magic the Gathering. Like Magic the Gathering is big; it gets by, it ticks over, it makes a lot of money. But it is a niche. It is not mainstream, and this is.
But do you not think that Disney has more of a possibility to go mainstream with it? Because obviously they're going to have the hardcore who are going to play it, and then they might have the casual guest who might pick it up. Because didn't they used to have that game in the park in Magic Kingdom? Was it called Sorcerers of Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. I never played it, obviously, but like that was obviously that involved kind of like cards and taking them around the parks. So they might tie that in as well.
Yes, but I'm just honestly, I don't think this is something that will stay the course. I mean, it'll be nice, but it'll be so expensive. And once again, we're hitting a cost of living crisis. And do you really think people are going to want to pay like £6 for 5 plastic cards in a booster pack? They're just not going to want to do it. It's the wrong time. I think it's going to have a high price point, because these things do have a high price point, and I just don't think it's going to be able to find its audience. It might find an audience in the Asian market, in the Japanese market. Because, places like Japan are not hitting a cost of living crisis quite like we are, and they go mental for all these things, don't they?
Yeah.
But I just don't know if I see it taking off. I could be wrong, but I just think it's the wrong time. And... Have you
ever played Villainous?
No.
The board game. See, that was really good. Like, I think this has some kind of connection to that. I'm not sure if it's like one of the creative people behind it is doing this as well. Right. But Villainous was really interesting. Like, it wasn't just like a kiddie board game. It was like properly, you had to really think about what you were doing. It was strategic. But like it made, obviously doing it with Disney characters, it really opened up to a lot of people. And so people that wouldn't play those kinds of board games were getting into it. And I played it with my friends and we had a good fun. You had to take a while. It took a couple of plays to get into it, but it was worthwhile. And so I feel like if people, I mean, Disney
but it never went mainstream, did it?
Well, no, and you're right. Disney deals in fads. It deals with, pins and Vinylmation and Numos and Tsum-Tsums, and we've had them all, haven't we? So they come and go. But like, I feel like something like this has the possibility of being something more than just a fad. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I'm personally speaking, like I say, the jury's out for me, but I think it's not going to work. I think it's the wrong time. Like I said, there'll probably be when it launches, it'll be a fad. People will get the cards, share them on social media and things like that, but then it will just die down and die out, and it'll be left for die-hard fans like you to just continue collecting. True. If it even, stays...
That's true.
Even if it stays the course past maybe its first 6 months of release, which, like I say, during this cost of living crisis, I'm not so sure it will.
No, you're probably right. I mean, I've ridden the wave of pins and Vinylmation, so it's about capitalizing. It's about knowing when to hold them, when to fold them.
I honestly think that Disney have dropped the ball on this one here. This is the wrong time. It's the wrong product. And if they're going to release it to the Western market, people are just not going to want to pay out for pieces of card right now when we're struggling to pay our bills.
You could be right. Is John back? Was that him with the that's true?
Yeah, I'm here, but the rain is still coming down.
Okay.
It's very ambient, actually. I quite like it.
I only say that because I was going to move on to the final point of order, in which case you needed to be here. That was all.
Oh, believe me, I can say all he needs to say for him.
I'm here. I'll jump in whenever it's required.
Okay.
But
Ben,
you can hear me above the rain, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It's fine. It's not too bad.
Yeah. Ollie, give it to me.
So, Thursday was the third episode of the Marvel series She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. And I'll give you my quick 5 cents before you beat me to the ground. I like it's popcorn, isn't it? It's a puff piece. It's like it's entertainment. It's not supposed to be like deep and meaningful and in depth. Like they're breaking the fourth wall. They're addressing the fact that they're having cameos. Like she talked to the camera and said, "This is a show where we have cameos every week." And yeah, I don't know. Tim Roth was awesome in this episode. I thought he was very funny.
Yeah, but he was the only good thing about this episode.
But he was the majority of the episode was about him, so it was fine. I mean, it's enjoyable. It's fun. I don't think every single series and every single episode has to be groundbreaking and jaw-dropping and I think we expect too much. I think we expect too much.
I don't want it to. No. I don't want it to be groundbreaking and jaw-dropping. I don't want that. I want it to be not shit. And that's not what we're getting.
And bloody hell, that twerking scene. Did we need that?
Yeah,
did we really need to suffer that?
Yeah, no, that was shit. You're right. That was shit. It was better when they were just referring to Megan Thee Stallion when they actually put her into the episode.
I have no idea who this person is. That's why my name today
me neither.
Megan Thee Stallion. Who is this person, right?
Is she real? Is she a real person?
Real person.
I think she's a rapper.
Yeah.
I think she's a rapper.
Okay. Yeah, I thought this was possibly the worst episode ever.
I think it's the worst episode so far, yeah.
Ever,
of all time, of any TV show ever? Or
not far away from it, but it's just the whole fourth wall thing is just so ingenuous. It's just not. It doesn't seem natural. When Deadpool does it, it's cool, right? But when she does it, it's cringy.
Yeah.
It just didn't. Oh my god, that guy Wong, the cameo, oh Jesus Christ, he is the most annoying guy out of Doctor Strange, and they put him in this, the most annoying show they've made.
Do you know what? So, they set rules within that world though, and I was talking to John about this. So if you're going to set rules within your world, such as telling Wong what he did was a crime in aiding and abetting Tim Roth's escape there, then when he jumps through his portal and then they just leave it at that, why not try and file some charges? Why not indict him? Follow through with that statement that you've just made, and then just
it's a comedy. It's a comedy show, isn't it? It's jokey. It's like yeah. It's yeah. It is, exactly.
I'm struggling to find the comedy in it.
I think that they're playing. I mean, it's not laugh out loud funny. I'll give you that much. But it's kind of like it's just humorous. It's kind of like it's just quirky.
I think we're killing John up there.
I'm sorry, John. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's fantastic by any stretch of the imagination. But I just think we have to. They're making a shitload of these TV shows.
Yeah,
there's going to be a Marvel. There's going to be a Marvel series every 3 months. There's going to be a Star Wars series every 6 months. Like, they're not all going to be 5 stars. You're going to have to like just they are making them just as pure entertainment now. They're not making them.
They don't need to be 5 stars, right? No. But they just need to be watchable.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to the point where with She-Hulk, give me back Ms. Marvel. That's where I am.
Wow, I didn't think you watched all of Ms. Marvel. Did you watch all of...
I did. I watched it to the end, right? Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But give me back Ms. Marvel. That's how bad
this is better than Ms. Marvel.
No,
this is better than Ms. Marvel.
No, it's not. It's not. So I hope, because they've got more than 8 episodes on this season, I think. But I hope they can turn it around, because so far, not so good. I mean, second episode's probably the best one so far.
And that was only because of Tim Roth.
That was only because of Tim Roth. The B plot in this episode. Let's talk about the B plot in this episode for a minute, with her ex-colleague suing the Asgardian light elf. Why was that even there? It just felt to me like the only reason that entire B plot existed was to show that white men are dumb dirtbags. That's literally all it felt like.
Well, I didn't get that from it. I got from I mean, we knew he was a dirtbag anyway, because he was set up at the start to be a dirtbag, but I didn't get that. What I got from it was only there to show that she's still a lawyer. Yeah,
well, yes and no, but then look how they played it. They played it that he's a dumbass and therefore that's why he should win. You know, dude bro, dumbass. And it just felt so stereotypical, like look at this man, I don't know. It seems to want to, even with Tim Roth and the Abomination and his character, Tim Roth played it well, but he was given crap to work with, right? They reduced it down to basically a sideshow, a comedy sideshow. Oh, look, I've got my 7 soulmates over here. These stupid women standing there in robes for some reason.
They look like you're out of Midsummer or something. It was quite strange. I don't know why they were dressed like that.
Well, we all know that Tim Roth's Abomination is going to be part of the Thunderbolts, so I don't know why they didn't try setting that up at this point rather than making him look like a joke, making him look like an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's pulling it off quite well. I mean, he's the best thing about the series by far.
He is the best thing about the series so far. And then when Charlie Cox turns up as Daredevil, he'll be the best thing. He'll be the best thing about the show so far.
Okay, well, there you go. You see, you've got to with
Well, I've never seen Daredevil.
You've never seen so the Netflix Daredevil show.
I've never seen anything about Daredevil ever.
Right, so Netflix made 3 seasons of a Daredevil show that was aimed at adults. It was not for children. It was made independent of Marvel Studios, and it was freaking brilliant. It's really good. It's a really good watch. And
I think it's on Disney Plus now, isn't it?
It is now available on Disney Plus. Yeah.
What is Daredevil? What's his superpower?
He's blind, but he's got like echo vision essentially.
Oh, is he like a superpowered Joe Biden? He can sniff out things.
Basically, yeah. Basically.
I need to watch that actually. Yeah, no, I do. I need to watch all of those Netflix shows. I never watched any of them.
So Daredevil's really good, and Punisher is really good. The others you could miss.
Okay.
And the Defenders you could definitely miss.
Which one?
The Defenders, when they all come together.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they kept Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. They're going to keep Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I know that Charlie Cox is going to appear in full Daredevil garb in She-Hulk. It was in the trailer. So,
wow, I missed that, obviously.
Yeah, it's in the trailer. So I think that this entire show has people coming back for the cameos and nothing else, because the CGI looks like it's from a PlayStation 2 game at this point. It really does. It's so terrible. I mean, that's one big difference between, let's say, She-Hulk and The Lord of the Rings of Power. Amazon spent $715 million on that show, and virtually every penny of it's been put into the visual effects. It is beautiful.
Well, they've got Weta. The thing is, they got Weta working for them, haven't they? Whereas, like, Marvel have got somebody in bumfuck Alabama doing their CGI for them.
I mean, yes and no, because I think Marvel do have access to ILM, do they not?
Sure. Okay. Fine. Yeah, you're right. But they don't always use them.
Well, because ILM don't have enough manpower to be doing everything that Marvel wants.
No, you're right.
So whilst they're also working on every Star Wars project that they want to put on Disney Plus as well, I just think, personally speaking, these Marvel shows need to slow down. There are just so many of them now. They're coming out every 3 months, like you said.
Yeah.
And we got a little bit of filler between Ms. Marvel and this abomination. As John
nice abomination, clever.
In the little shorts of I Am Groot, which are completely pointless, completely weird, but a little fun watch. Right? I quite enjoyed it.
I watched one, and like I was done. Like I know what they're all going to be. They're all cutesy little. Well, great, he does something funny, and I couldn't be bothered to watch the rest. I just watched one, and the Disney Plus screwed it up big time by not making it a series. They've made them individual shorts, which makes it really difficult. I want to press play all and then watch all of them in one go, and not have like credits every 5 seconds. Like the people running Disney Plus right now are just incompetent. They have no idea what the consumer wants to know. How they can't even copy Netflix or copy HBO Max or copy Paramount Plus. They literally just are floundering around like they're swimming. They don't know how to swim, and they're in a big pool. And like, oh, we don't know how to make a streaming service. We don't know how to order series. We don't know how to, digitize things that the fans actually want to see. Like, honestly, like they're a joke.
Yeah. And on that note, we have reached our hour.
Great.
I think I'm getting flooded.
Sounds to me like you are getting flooded.
Yeah, you'll be the one floundering around in water soon.
John, put Zippity Doodah on the sound system there. You can just
what sound system?
Well, just put your speakers on and pretend you're on Splash Mountain, John. Zippity Doodah, zippity day.
Oh my, what a wonderful day. Sunshine headed my way.
Zippity Doodah, zippity day.
With the bluebird on my shoulder.
That's a fact. That's actual. That's satisfactual on our zippity Doodah.
Well, it's good night from me.
I haven't even.
I meant to say, I watched the end credit scene.
Yeah.
I can't remember where it was.
It was a twerking, John.
It was a twerking.
Oh, God, so it was.
It was a twerking, John. It was the twerking. And
yeah,
I have.
We got submitted. It was submitted to us twice. It was that bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was all bad, right?
Look at She-Hulk's ass.
No. I don't want to. That's the point.
It was like a close-up, though, wasn't it? It was like an extreme close-up. It wasn't even like a wide shot.
Yeah, but it wasn't even a good ass.
They like zoomed. No, it wasn't really. It was just like
PlayStation 2 ass. It was a PlayStation 2 ass.
Very poor.
Yeah.
Could still see the pixels, Disney. Could still see the pixels.
I need to do some CGI if a wave coming in.
Just taking yourself out.
Yeah.
By the sounds of things, you won't need CGI soon.
Have you seen Moonfall?
What a pile of shit that was.
Moonfall? No, what is Moonfall?
It's a movie. You need to watch it. It's good. It's quite entertaining.
There's going to be a review coming out on this channel of it by me and John, where I'm going to fucking lay into him, excuse my language, telling me to watch that utter drivel.
That should be quite good, actually, because I find it quite entertaining.
That's because you have no taste.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Right,
says the guy dressed as a 1970s Meatloaf impersonator.
Nice.
It's a Mario impersonator, and it's in them adulty type films about fixing plumbing, John. It's me, Mario. I'm here to fix your plumbing.
Fix the plumbing.
Right, shall we get out of here?
Yes.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Ollie, for this episode 7 of Dismal Disney. We will be back same time next week, 8 p.m. live for episode 8. There will be more to laugh about, more to talk about, and more She-Hulk.
Oh, it will.
Good night, if I survive the rising floodwaters.
Good night, John. Good night, Ollie.
Good night.
Bye.